Today on the show, we get to talk about the AEW Console Game. Kenny Omega did a recent interview. He discussed a lot of things regarding the game, its status, and more. We're going to give you the full deep dive of the interview and give you our thoughts. Let's go! Hey everybody, welcome back to Assemble. I'm Matt. Great to have you here on the show. Let's talk about the AEW Console Game today. I'm excited. It's been a while since we've been able to talk about it. They have not released any new game footage. We've had a few little sneak peeks along the way, but everything's been relatively quiet for a few months. We should expect to see more from the AEW Console Game as things progress this calendar year. But Kenny did a recent interview with Wrestling Observer Radio, and they did talk quite a bit about the game. One of the first things Kenny talked about was just overall working on the game and doing a brand new video game from scratch. We're working on our next presentation. We're working non-stop around the clock on this game. There are a lot of deadlines we're trying to reach. We don't ever want to keep anyone in the dark completely. It's been quite some time since we've had an actual update, not just information, but we want to be able to show people something. I would expect, hopefully, to have something prepared for people to show very soon. I don't want to promise at the pay-per-view or the pay-per-view week, but we were hoping to possibly show a little more on where we're at and progression and reveal possibly a new character or characters. It is coming along. Now, with this statement by Kenny Omega, number one, it's great to hear that things are still progressing. I'm excited for the AEW Console Game. Please let me know in the comments, what do you think about the game itself? From the footage we've seen, is it a game that has you excited? March 7th, 2022 is when we have AEW Revolution, the next pay-per-view from AEW. Kenny mentioning that, they want to be able to present something soon. Sounds like he wants to be able to get it out around the pay-per-view time or that week. It would be great if they were able to put together just even a sizzle reel trailer, something small, even with some of the existing footage, and mash it together and give us a little bit more to play with. In terms of superstars, it sounds like he's alluding to being able to showcase another match or show off another superstar or two in the game. It'd be really cool if they were going to show off something with tag teams, maybe show us the Young Bucks, maybe even just a new character model or newer character model. I want to really get people really amped up would be if they were able to do a render of CM Punk. I think that's a little far-fetched in my opinion, based on the development cycle of the game and where they're at. I think that if they're going to get the likes of Punk and Bryan in the game and Adam Cole, I think they would be much later in development to get their character model done, but I'm not a game developer, who knows? But I think if they wanted to really wow people, it would be to show them an early render of CM Punk. Kenny continued on in the interview to say, quote, "For me, there is a large emphasis on the wrestling aspect of the game. We want the wrestling too, and it's tough to get it down. But we want it to feel like how a match would flow, but within a video game. The matches in general will go a little quicker, but we want them to feel like the user is able to assume the role of their favorite AEW superstar and or whoever they create in Create Wrestler mode. And when they mix it up in the ring in whatever match type they choose, that they're having a fun time and they feel like they are in control of their person and that the moves have impact and is fun. But if you want to be competitive about it, there is that there too." So create a superstar, create a character is going to be in the AEW game, which is really great. Remember, this is all being done by Ukes and using the Ukes engine that we've known from the WWE games in the past and some of our absolute favorites from the past as well. And it does deliver much more of that arcadey style, quicker paced style for a video game, for a wrestling game that we have known in the past. And the Ukes games for wrestling have been the emphasis on having fun, quicker momentum matches, and just getting in there and being able to play as your favorite superstar and just have a good time. Whereas on the 2K side of things, it is much more of that in-depth simulation gameplay and game aspect. But I think with the 2K games, like what they're trying to do in this 2K22, it feels like they're trying to bridge this gap between having a slightly more arcadey, faster paced style, closer up cameras, and trying to blend it with the simulation aspect that they've had with the 2K titles. Kenny continued on in the interview to say, quote, "We have a lot of match types, game modes. There's going to be cross-platform and an online component where you can create your own lobby." So this is exciting to hear and to see Kenny Omega talk about cross-platform being confirmed very early for the AEW game. The online component where we can actually do a match lobby, so we can go with our friends and invite people and actually go into a lobby and select somebody and have a one-on-one match, maybe a tag team match, triple threat, fatal four-way. AEW themselves, we have to keep in mind, and when Kenny says we got a lot of match types and game modes, it makes me feel like we're gonna get something along the lines of your regular exhibition, some sort of career mode, or what we've known in the past for a road to WrestleMania or a championship mode. I can see AEW doing something like that, having a tournament in there too. I'm also trying to keep in mind of what AEW is known for. We haven't seen a lot of like crazy matches from AEW. Yes, we have the death matches we've seen in AEW. Some are good, some are just kind of wonky. We've seen steel cage matches. We've seen a lot of hardcore matches that they've done. Backstage stuff, like there are a lot of different match types they could leverage that are kind of already known within AEW. But we have to keep in mind too that like when they say a lot of different match types, it can be very much in the vein of a WWE 2K game where it's like, okay, here's your one-on-one match, one-on-one hardcore, one-on-one steel cage, tag teams, tag team tornadoes, triple threats, fatal four-ways, and being able to leverage other modes and other features within those match types, like a ladder match. And on the topic of AEW's console game and competing with the WWE 2K series, Kenny said the following, quote, "We'll never be able to compete with the production values of WWE's game. 2K22 is absolutely gorgeous. I'm excited to see all their bells and whistles when it finally releases. For us, rather than pushing the envelope drastically or anything like that, we just want the wrestling to feel how it used to feel for people who play wrestling games back in the day and just have fun with fellow wrestling fans or people who want to have fun with their buddies. Maybe they don't know who Luchasaurus is or don't know who Chris Jericho is, but they'll be able to pick a character and go, this guy's fun to play as. That's the feeling that I want as a creative designer to bring back to video games." So once again, I love Kenny's emphasis on gameplay. It comes down to the gameplay, and if I can pick up this game and it feels like a No Mercy or WrestleMania 2000, where those are my best memories as a wrestling video game fan, and pick up a match and have a match of Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho, and it's fun, it's kind of arcadey, it's to the point, and it feels good, and you're pulling off moves that really land, and it feels like there's a lot of replay value, then I am excited. And the news of having Create a Superstar and having online platform and cross-platform allows for community creations and being able to cross those things over from platform to platform. That piece is very exciting for fans because that is newer to the game, and it's something that even 2K hasn't really been able to fully pull off, and AEW is going to have it in their first game. That's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think of the AEW console game and all the updates and what do you want to see from it. Hit me up in the comments below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next episode.